Change is a scary word, but sometimes it's beautiful. The channel's grown so much in the last year, but it has a pretty big problem. Today, I'm going to talk about all the things I want to change to make Animation for Anyone better for you and the community in 2025. And you can tell me what you think. But this is an animation channel after all, so while I do all of that, I'm going to record myself making a stream of consciousness animation, and by the end of the video, you can see how it works out. So let's jump in. If you've been following the channel for a while now, you might have noticed that even though the audience is really growing, I haven't been able to post that many videos. And there's basically three main reasons for that. Firstly, and you might be able to guess this, the lessons take a long time to make. They take between 1 and 3 months full-time work to make. I spend a long time writing each class because I want them to be super clear and really fun to follow. And then I do lots of custom animation for each one. All of this adds a lot of extra work, and it does add a lot to the time that it takes to make each class. It's totally worth it, but yeah, it all adds up. The second reason is, I have a job. I'm an animation director, which is really fun. I get to work with really great clients and awesome artists. But ultimately, those jobs are pretty high intensity and they take all my focus for several months at a time. So splitting my brain between YouTube and paid work has been pretty difficult, and I'm finding myself kind of burnt out. Traditionally, the way that I would overcome a problem like this is just to try to make myself work harder. But that's not a very healthy way to live. And also, the other big change in my life is that my wife and I recently became parents. So time really is at a premium, and I need to be a lot smarter in how I'm using that time moving forward. So as you can probably tell, the big problem with this channel that I mentioned at the start is me. I'm the problem. I'm spreading myself way too thin, but I think Animation for Anyone has this incredible potential, and I want it to live up to that potential. So let's talk about what I want this channel to be and all the changes that I think we should make to make Animation for Anyone better for you and the community as a whole this year. From the start, Animation for Anyone was designed to be this big, free online animation textbook where you could get as many people into animation regardless of what style of animation they like. And I think getting as many people with as many different points of view and life experiences involved in animation will make the art form as a whole better and better. And that's the reason I spend so long on the classes and the reason I love making them. But as I said, I'm spread too thin and I need to make a choice. I could quit, which I really don't want to do, or I could fully commit and throw myself into making animation education full-time so I can make as much stuff for you guys as possible. And in case you haven't guessed, that's my plan for 2025. But I need to do it in a smart and sustainable way, otherwise it's not going to work. So firstly, I'm going to be a little bit more sensible in how I make the classes. Like in this class, for example, I created a whole custom user interface for an animation app and then animated every frame by hand. And I did all of that because I didn't want students to feel like they needed to buy an expensive program to animate in, but I probably should have screen recorded it because it took weeks of extra work, and that's probably time I should have been using a little bit better. I also might use my face a little bit more in the videos. There's lots of reasons I didn't do this early on, which maybe one day we'll get into, but I think talking directly to you guys is a perfectly acceptable way to be teaching. So I'll do that instead of animating every single second of every class. I'm also planning some collaborative classes throughout the year, and I think when you see who I'm collaborating with, you'll be really excited about it, because I'm really excited about it. And I reckon this will give us a little bit more variety in how we're learning. Outside of YouTube, I've been really hard at work making some deep dive courses for animation students who love Animation for Anyone, but want to go way, way deeper, like Animation School Deep. I've just released Animation Basecamp, which I think of as the ultimate animation fundamentals course. It's got 25 lessons, loads of exercises I don't think you will have tried before. It's got community, it's got showcase critiques, it's got software training. The student work over there is really amazing. I'm super inspired by all the stuff they're doing. So if that sounds like something you're into, check out the link below or alexgrigg.studio. I'm also starting a Patreon. It is a totally free tier, and that will give you behind the scenes videos and previews for this YouTube channel. It'll also give you a way to connect with the broader animation community. Check that out in the link below as well. There are loads of things I won't be changing on the channel, so I won't be adding sponsorships, for example, and that means I don't need to chase the algorithm, and I can just focus on making the best classes for you as possible. I've been working on all of these changes behind the scenes for the last 6 months because I really want Animation for Anyone to be that thing I had in my head when we started out. That free resource that gets as many people into animation as possible, helps them find their voice, and gives people access to all of those big ideas that the trailblazers of the medium figured out over the last 100 years. If you want to be a part of that, thank you so much for being here. But let's check back with the other Alex and see how that stream of consciousness animation worked out. So I made this animation here. It's pretty fun. It's pretty rough. I think I spent maybe 2 or 3 hours on this one. If you'd like to see a more in-depth breakdown of how I made it, as well as the opening scene with the butterfly and the caterpillar, check out the Patreon. I'll put up a behind-the-scenes video there totally for free, so you can check that out. So when I start an animation like this, I don't really have a clear plan. And as a result, I just let the animation sort of flow out of me. Obviously, I don't do all my animation this way. I do a lot of planning, do a lot of complex character work. But I really like this style of animating. It feels a little bit more like meditation. And it's really fun. It's really like intuitive. And hopefully with all the classes we're making this year, I can help make animation feel fun and intuitive for you too. So thanks so much for being here. Thanks for checking out this slightly weird video that I made today. But I really hope you're looking forward to the changes for the channel, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you.